Okay, welcome to math class with Miss B. Today's lesson we're going to cover types of solutions of linear equations. I promised my students I would post this, so here we are. The Common Core standards are here, and basically what that means is by the end of this lesson, students should be able to identify whether a linear equation in one variable has one, infinitely many, or no solutions. So let's just jump right into it. So far we've been working with equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. And equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign are basically used when you're trying to figure out when two situations are equal. So like when two memberships are equal, two cell phone plans are equal, two whatever the situation is, whenever they're equal. So far we've solved these situations and it gave us a variable that was equal to one number, meaning it had one solution. However, there's some other situations out there. Sometimes there is no solution, and sometimes there's infinitely many solutions. So when there's no solution, the algebraic form will look like this. You'll have two different numbers, two different amounts on either side of the equal sign. For example, you may have 7 is equal to negative 20. We know that that's not true. So basically, they're telling you that there's no situation. There's the number of solutions is none. There's no values of the variable for which the equation is true. Then other times it will tell you specifically what the variable equals. So say x is equal to a certain amount, or you may say x is equal to 8, for example. And this is a situation where it's telling you you have one solution, and that one solution would be 8. So the equation is true for exactly one value for the variable. And then there's some times where you have identical numbers on either side of the equal sign. So for example, if you had 10 is equal to 10, you did all the work and it worked out to be 10 is equal to 10. That means infinitely many solutions. So every situation will work for this because the equations are identical. So the equation is true for all values of the variable. All right, so let's go ahead and work some of these situations out and discover them, basically. So here we have 8c is equal to 6 plus 5c. Tell my students that I want you to move all the terms with the variable on one side and all the terms with the constant on the other. Okay, so since I already have the constant here, I'm going to move this 5c from the right to the left. And we do that by subtracting it from both sides. It got rid of it over here, and I'm left with 3c is equal to 6. Now to continue solving it, I get down to, I have to divide both sides by 3. And we end up with 1c is equal to 2. So this is that situation, again, where x, or the variable, gave us a specific amount. So they're telling us it has one solution. And that solution happens to be 2. Okay, this second example over here. Well, first, before I decide to move my variable to one side and the constant to the other, I'm going to see if I can combine anything on each side. So over here, I'm going to simplify this by combining these two x terms. Negative 8x and positive 10x gives me a positive 2x. And then I bring down the 9. And on this side of the equal sign, I have 2x plus 7. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to move this 2x by subtracting it over here. Remember, whatever you do, you got to do the exact same thing on the other side. So if I subtract 2x from here and from here, I'm left with nothing. Well, I'm left with the 7 on the left and then negative 9 on the right. And it says 7 is equal to negative 9. That's not true. That's never true. So that means there are no solutions to this situation. And then lastly, we come across this set of equations. And again, whenever you see these parentheses, you want to use the distributive property to get rid of them to simplify everything. So I'm going to multiply -2 times b and -2 times -4. And I end up with -2b plus 8, because a negative times a negative gives me positive, equals -2b. That should say plus 8. Sorry. Plus 8. So as you can see, so far our equations look identical. So to get rid of the -2b, I'm going to add 2b here and add 2b here. And I end up with 8 is equal to 8. Yes, that is true every time, right? So that means since I have identical, A is equal to A. Oops, me. I have identical values on either side of the equal sign. That means I have infinitely many solutions. Alrighty. So that concludes this really quick lesson on the types of solutions for linear equations. I hope you liked this. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more videos. I will be loading them frequently. And you can also follow me on OutSchool to have full access to all of the courses that I provide.